GameStop closed the day up 2.57%. Just from the daily time frame, we are still holding a beautiful level. We got a little bit closer to our range of hitting $36.45 and breaking out of this wedge, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Putting you on the weekly time frame, you can see the macro is sitting in a very, very important decision. As we broke out of the initial descending resistance level, we finally pushed out of it, and we have built now 3 full weeks on top of this range, prepping for a spring move higher. Now let's take a little bit of a deeper look. We have XRT fails to deliver very high on May 9th with the notional around 4.5 million. Now, you take a deeper look. This also on GameStop itself has over 1 million same day, May 9th. Now, 35 days later, the T plus 35 lands on June 13th. Taking an even closer look, IWM, which is the largest holder of AMC, 208 million FTDs, May 7th, landing on June 11th, that T plus 35 date. What does that mean? Well, it's something that we talked about plenty of times, which is the quarterly ETF rebalancing window, which is June 20th. This Friday, or the Friday of June 20th, so about 2 weeks from now. Until that time frame, they have to return millions and millions and millions worth of shares, and these are only just a few ETFs that they have these shares synthetically shorted on to suppress the price. Now we're seeing a little bit of momentum coming in today on GameStop, but you can see that institutions are still attempting to fight the buy pressure for GameStop. Taking a deeper look into the charts, we have held the channel. We've recaptured channels. We have recaptured what was once a bearish level, this yellow dotted line, which we talked about at $30. We recaptured above it. This has now been a ping pong battle at $30. And right now, as long as we're over 30, bulls are winning the battle. Now, them winning the battle coming into earnings is a good thing to see. On top of that, we haven't seen a lot of price suppression coming into earnings. We also haven't seen, price suppression via media coming into earnings, as well as we haven't seen a lot of hype coming into earnings via the media as well. Now, there's a couple things I want to state coming into the earnings. Solely based off of their announcement for GameStop, they are already up $5 million in realized gains, in unrealized gains on GameStop. And the only reason is because they announced this sub $108,000 or $108,700 or something around that range. Bitcoin is now coming up to 110,000, wicked all the way up almost to 111 today. And just off of that alone, hypothetically, which we really don't believe they did, hypothetically, if they bought during that announcement, they are net positive. Coming into earnings, I don't know what the negative catalyst is going to be if they attempt to drop one and drop the stock. I don't really see some sort of negative catalyst. In fact, I'm holding all of my positions. It is extremely risky to be playing the games that us retail investors are playing, the ones who watch my channel, the ones who are in my Discord server, the ones who are on X, all of us chatting together. It is an extremely dangerous game, and don't play unless you are willing to make some badass decisions that can change your life or, make you a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. So I just want to state that nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These investment decisions are very, very risky. Now, we did see other people taking the same risk with call premium being loaded up on GameStop today. Again, is this roaring kitty? Is it just another whale? What do they see coming? Are they going to make retail flood in and then dump before earnings tomorrow? What are we ultimately going to see? Now, one thing we also can't forget, just a little bit of tin, because I do want to move on with the video. I don't want to put tin in every video or too much of it, but we did see Roaring Kitty himself post from Game of Thrones, and the episode is 610, which comes to June 10th, the Green Wildfire. I mean, we could be right on the fence of something great, which they report earnings June 10th, right? Tomorrow. So I'm hyped. I'm excited. As far as Bitcoin goes, it's tracking damn near identical to the cycle we had. We called out a sell-off from here when we rejected right around 112. And we also called out a double bottom around 102. We got very, very, very close to almost the exact callouts. Now, this pattern also shows a very harsh spike in the chart, which you can see right here, which I believe we're getting today, right? So some part of the cycles are laggy. Some part of the cycles are playing out perfectly together. But the long story short, the macro is that I think Bitcoin's heading up above 116, possibly 122, possibly 136. XRP called it out as well. It's playing out very beautiful. It just bottomed out and it's starting to scale higher. This is the question, where are we going to enter an altcoin season? And in my opinion, once again, people are calling for it, and I'm saying everyone's calling for it, which, sometimes that can get a little worried in your head and cause you to doubt. A lot of people are calling for XRP to nosedive back to $1 or sub $1, okay? And then enter an altcoin season. Here's why I don't think that is the case. I don't think that is the case because I believe Bitcoin is coming up to all-time highs, okay? And all-time highs by late June, mid-July. And then what happens after, coming into July, likelihood is going to be the season for alts to really make their moves. So however long XRP wants to take, I believe coming into July, we are going to see peaks following Bitcoin. That's just what happens. Bitcoin peaks and then altcoins peak after. Okay, it's just simple math. It's what happens. Altcoin season comes next, and that is what I see happening, right? I don't think Bitcoin's over, therefore I don't think these altcoins are over. I think their momentum is just beginning. Moving on, I want to give you FFAI to keep on your watch list. Tomorrow was up 20% today, and I think it actually has more room to run. Speaking of these stocks, I gave you GNS as well. Genius Group has been fighting illegal market manipulation against their stock, but they also just announced to acquire 1,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025. This would move their position to 16 as the largest public companies holding Bitcoin as part of their treasury reserves. So as these companies gain more and more, the more of them start to adopt Bitcoin, right? GameStop front ran this. They were one of the, I wouldn't say too early of a company, but definitely one of the early companies to lead these small caps into doing a move like this, into some of these weak business models starting to do what GameStop has done. And let me just tell you, GameStop's small initial investment is much more than a lot of these companies' whole investment, right? For example, GNS, 1,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025, really not much. GameStop bought almost 5,000 that we know of, and that's just a little bit of a pinch of their capital. Now, one thing I have been wrong on is the S&P 500, the SPY. I'm going to stop calling out on the SPY and calling bearish on the SPY and calling a drop on the SPY, because my timeframes have been just straight out wrong over the past few weeks or so. Right. I mean, the last one we got right was right here with this drop. And this was May 23rd. So it's been about 2 weeks where, we were basically wrong on the SPY. I mean, we somewhat called the move up to 600. That was correct. But we haven't gotten a sell-off since then. But we did call the move up to 600. So that was correct again. But we didn't get that sell-off in the time frame we saw. But what I'll leave you with is, if we're right, if GameStop squeezes, if Bitcoin's going to highs, it's not really about what the SPY does. It's just when these big players' money gets messed with, it's going to mess with the market. It's put very simply. It's very, very simple, right? I don't know how the S&P 500 is going to play out. I'm not going to call on it right now. I don't have an idea, but what I can just tell you from a basic standpoint, based on everything that's going on around the economy, the SPY is showing uncertainty, instability, in its direction. It doesn't want to go up. It doesn't want to go down. It kind of wants to sit flat on the year, comfortable on the year, and say, listen, is it time to remain in a bull market for years on end, or are we going to see some war? Are we going to see some sort of black swan? We're in the scenario where we really don't know. And even if we did know, I expect it to be temporary spikes coming into Q4 where we end up crashing anyway. So I'll just leave that right there. But yeah, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Also, Amazon announced a $20 billion US investment to advance AI innovation, which we're seeing a lot of stuff moving into AI, people saying the bubble peaked out, but it could just be beginning. I'm sorry the video is going up so late. I was out today. I got a new motorcycle that I'm very, very happy with. It was a 3-hour drive plus one way, so it was a long day, and now we're here and we're dropping the video for you guys. But that is it. Make sure to check the link in the description. Get in my Discord server. It's a top link, and sign up for Moomoo. Get 60 free stocks once you open an account, make a deposit. Go use code LOTTO to get a funded futures account half off. Also, for the new members joining Discord, a lot of you guys just popped in. It will be more active in there. I've just been super busy, but it's still very fun in there. I assume you're getting along with the members. It's a good time. Also, I'm not gonna DM you. I'm not gonna DM you asking personal information or anything like that. And if I do, it will be publicly announced in the main Stock Talk channel. So get in the Discord, guys. If you're not in here yet, there's 8,000 of you, 10,000 of you watching this video, probably 12,000 of you. And if everybody joined, we'll have a massive, massive community. That is it. I love you all. God bless. And hopefully, maybe Roaring Kitty tweets in 15 minutes from when I'm recording this. But ultimately, I'm just waiting for the earnings tomorrow. That is it. Love you all. Lottery Socks out.